Here in Grand Prairie, we've got a lot of playgrounds, and we meet the standards of the American Disabilities Act on every playground we have. It's part of the original ideas of our Central Park and the Epic experience. We in the park department decided that we were going to build a playground, and we decided that we'd go and look at some of the newer playgrounds that had been built around the area. And we found that there were really needs for a playground that takes into consideration physical, sensory, and social needs of all the children and adults with special needs.
We wanted Central Park to have a playground that was all-inclusive, where everybody of all levels, of all capabilities, of all ages could come and play together.
Many people often ask me why inclusion is important, especially in a playground. It's important on a lot of levels. First, you have the children who have a disability, and it's so important to make sure that they are engaged and involved in playing with peers. Then you also have parents or grandparents who take their children to the playground. So unless that playground is inclusive, how are those parents and grandparents going to be able to take their children to go and play? Much of what we do in therapeutic recreation is help teach the child and the parents the skills and the knowledge they need to be successful in play and recreation when they go back home. Because children do not live in a hospital. They live in hometown communities, such as Grand Prairie. And it's so important to have inclusive playgrounds, accessible parks, accessible buildings, inclusive recreation programs, so that the children who live in your community, as well as the adults, they can be involved in recreation and leisure and play.
All you have to do is come to an all-inclusive park and you see kids playing together who are impaired and non-impaired kids playing side by side in harmony, and you cannot help but to be touched to see those kids playing together. Because before, special needs kids never had a place to go, or they had a special place that was only for them and they felt excluded.
As children play together, they get a chance to learn how to take turns, look out for one another, use their imagination, be a part of something bigger than themselves. They also learn to empathize with other kids, maybe see other kids who don't do as well, so they help the child up the ladder, or they help them down the slide. So it gives the children an opportunity to really develop a sense of empathy and looking out for one another, all while they're playing.
Discovery is part of this. Learning to communicate and play together and be a part of the organization, to learn from their peers. This is what we want out of our playground.
One of the things that was amazing is when we staged the grand opening here, we thought we were really building a park for special needs kids. What we noticed during the grand opening is that we had special needs parents who were impaired or in wheelchairs literally going up into the playscapes and enjoying the park, and walking up and talking to a lot of them. They were literally in tears, and we would ask them why. And they would say, for the first time in my life, I can actually play side by side with my kids who aren't impaired. I've always been impaired, but now I'm on a playscape holding their hand and playing with them together.
When we say we're building community and you're keeping families together, that's what a facility like that does. This is the place to be, and it's a project that you want to be involved with.
This project's the most exciting project I've worked on in the time that I've been on the park board. You can't imagine the thrill of seeing a kid get on a piece of equipment that he thought he could never, ever be on.
I think it's so important to make sure kids have an opportunity to play and grow and be included and reach their potential, be all that they can be.
It could change their life forever. It can have an impact later on in life that we won't know right now. But I guarantee you, it will make an impact. And that's what we want to do. We don't want to just build things to say we built them. We want to change people's lives for the better. And our team has put together something that no other city in the area has put together. You can't go anywhere to see what we're fixing to give you. It's going to be one to be copied. It's going to be one that people will come and say, I want to do that in my hometown.
You just cannot put a price tag on the effect it has on a community. The smiles on kids' faces, the amount of community support, and the community coming together is just overwhelming when you actually start putting a park together of this magnitude.